Hello YouTube, Bud Haggerty here. I can fix that. Today's episode is going to be about a alternator, replacing an alternator. It happens to be on this car behind me, which is a 2006 town car. It also applies for all Mercury Grand Marquis. They're the same car. You know, Ford basically owns both companies. This goes from about 2000. This is a 2006, but the alternator covers a wide variety of them. And how do I know that the alternator's bad? First of all, I got a red light indicator in the car. And when you get a red light indicator, you know, unbeknownst to me, probably a decade ago, you got different color lights, green, yellow, and red. Well, when you get a yellow light in your car, there's really, it says caution, pay attention. You don't have to do anything immediately. But when you get red lights, it's basically saying you got to do something. Well, this red light came on, and I kind of ignored it a little bit because I was away from my house. Well, I started driving home. I never made it. I ran out. My car completely shut down because when the battery's drained out completely, you can't get any sparks to your spark plugs, and you will go into what we call basically out of fuel. I was doing 45 miles an hour. The engine cut out. I found a nice landing spot like a pilot would, and that's another story how I got it home. But that's what we got. We got a bad alternator, and I'm going to also show you how I know. I'm going to get the meter out, and we're going to start the engine up, and let's check it out right now. Okay, I got my meter out, and this is a multimeter. Of course, we talk about it all the time. It's something every handy guy should have. Not only is it good for your AC outlets in your house, I mean, it's good for this right here. This is the battery right here. If you'll see, I'm going to put the, let me see if I can get them on there. That one's on. If you look on my meter, right now we're at 12.4 volts. The car is not started, so the battery's fine. 12 volts. Well, if your alternator's working properly, when I start the car up, I got to have more than that to charge the battery and keep it charged constantly. So we'll start it up. I'm 13, high 13s, 14. I'd be happy with anything there. So let's go start the car. Okay, I got the car started. And look, it's not going up. Not at all. So this battery right now, matter of fact, it's even less. It's a little bit below what we had at this standing at rest. So this is starting to drain the battery down, and there's no help from that alternator charging it. So as we play the radio, have the lights on, air conditioner, anything, it's going to drain the out of this battery. So we know it's the alternator. I'm sure you know this, but that's the alternator. In this particular car, we're lucking out because it couldn't be in a better spot. And when that spins around on the serpentine belt from the motor, as it spins around, it's basically a mini power plant. It's producing voltage, and there's electronics in the back of that to turn that from AC, alternating current, into DC and provide the battery its power. So that's our culprit. We're gonna go after it. Okay, I shut the car off, turned it back on, and look what happened. Our voltage is at what it should be. The alternator is now working, so that really kind of pisses me off, but I still think it's the alternator. But now what we have is an intermitting problem. In the world of electronics, that's not uncommon. Intermitting. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So now I'm going to monitor this just to make sure. But right now, I didn't do anything and it's fixed. But I don't think it's going to last. Okay, YouTube, listen to this. About 14 days ago, I started a video, how to change your alternator, and then I ran into that intermitting problem we just looked at. Well, what have I been doing for 14 days besides living? I keep the entire parts that I need to change that alternator, which in this particular car, it couldn't be any easier as far as I've seen alternators. It's in a great spot. So what I've been carrying around in my car is my alternator, the new one, all the tools for that alternator. I already took a breaker bar and busted all those nuts that would have to come off if I had to fix this on the side of the road. already loose and tighten them back, so I know none of them will give me trouble there. In here I got every tool plus my handy dandy meter, so I got everything ready to go in case it breaks down. And I also got my little charger up there if I needed it. But I was just informed that we're going to take a road trip for the holidays with this car. So you know what? Instead of going through all that BS of whether it breaks down or not, I'm not taking that thing back. So let's put it in. So we're going back to put it in, and let's get this thing going. Like I said, look at this. Perfect spot right up front here. I got to get this cover off. So all this is a 1/4 inch socket. Just goes in there and we spin it out. We're just taking the cover off. All right. I can get that nut out of there. Okay, we got to get the serpentine belt off, which is on the alternator itself. Do you see this right here? This is under a tension. It has a little spring on it. You just need a 3/8 socket. It fits right in here. There's a spot for it, and you push. Once you get it in, push down, and look at this. It's off. That's it. It's spring loaded, so I push that way to release it. That's clockwise. And it's completely off. Couldn't be easier. I took a 1/2 inch socket, and there's 2 bolts. One here, one here. As I was saying, I crack them loose. I don't need to take them off all the way because the way this is designed, I'll be able to pull it up this way. So what I want to do now, take this off and those 2 bolts back there. And I should be able to lift the entire assembly off if I do that. After further review, I'm going to take this off right here for safety reasons. You don't want this battery connected because this is the positive side, and it goes all the way over there, and that is hot. That's got power on it, so when I do take it off, I don't want it to strike against the car because it'll ground it. So let's just take this terminal off and prevent all that from happening. While I'm at it, I could probably clean that up a little bit. So there. So now I'm back here. Let me zoom back in on this a little bit. There. Now we can take this guy off, which I do have a 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter seems to fit perfect. I'm sure there's another one in the USA family instead of metric. That'll work on that as well. But this is my guy for here. Right off, I'm putting that guy back on just in case I need him. Okay, I was going to pull that off, but you know what? On second thought, if I take that off, I'll ruin it. So I just loosened all 4 of these screws since they're so easy to do. I'll take all 4 of these off, and I'll just move that out of the way. I don't see a problem with that. Look at that. That thing should come right out now. Yep. And the only thing left is that connector right there. Let's get that off and get it out of here. Even though this is easy, you got to be careful because if you damage this is going to cause you a lot of problems. I put a screwdriver and put a little bit of force down to push that down right on next to it, just to get it moved down. Once you do that, you'll be able to push it in and work it all out. And see, I got it off there. Because that will sit in there and lock in what you want it to do. So there, it's off. And this guy is out of here.
You're mine!
Okay, there it is. The old one's out of there. That's what it looks like. The new one I put in here. And look, see how they have it so that it could just fall right on there. Don't have to screw the bolts in there, which is so nice. That just sits right in there. And I'll tighten those two down. It's like cradled in there. Perfect.
So beautiful.
That's easy. My little handy dandy electrical part. I should hear it click. I heard it snap. I know that's in there nice. I'm almost home free already. They gave me a nut for the new one, which is nice. Okay, we're putting her back together. This piece went right here. I'm going to make sure that these are all the same instead of those maybe being a little different in the back since they're part of the engine mount, but they're all the exact same. So we can just pop these guys in. Everything's just hand tight for right now. I'll take this off because I want to tighten those down first before I tighten any of this up top here. That's hand tight. So everything's hand tight. I'm going to take the 1/2 inch and crank those in because I think that'll put the right pitch before I tighten all this stuff up, which is crucial to keep that belt in line. So let me get that tool right now. Okay, everything's back in place. It's all loose. I'm going to tighten these up first. Wow, that thing won't come off. All right. Now this guy. That's tight. Double check it. Okay. And one more over here just to make sure. Okay, that is tight. That's in place. Now I'm going to tighten this up. Okay, just put the 10 millimeter back on here. I'm not going to go crazy, just I'm grabbing it here. I don't want to torque it. So just there, just to get it snug on there. That's all I'm looking for on that one. And these guys, you can put a little bit more to them. On, connected. Everything's good. Belt back on. And we're just about done. Okay, again, there's the pulley that we're going to stick the 3/8 socket in by itself. Here's a close-up so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me pull back on the camera now. Real slow. And you'll see where I'm talking about. That's it. So I'm going to take this arm right here and pull it this way, and we'll be able to pop that right back on. Okay. We got that there. I just got to put a little torque on this. And there. That's it. She's back on. I was gonna say, don't forget to put the battery back on, but you'll know soon enough because she ain't going anywhere without this. So back on. I don't know if you saw me jump, but when I put this back on, it activated the alarm, and my dog was crying inside, so we got everybody calmed down now. That's nice and tight. Just about to wrap this up. We got to check it, make sure everything's good. I'll put my voltmeter back on after I get it started, and I should have 14 volts, 13.8, 14.2, somewhere around there, as long as it's way above that 12. So let's get her fired up. The belt's working fine. The alternator's on there. It looks tight. We'll go over to the battery, and let's hopefully we got our 14 volts. All right. And bring that up to you. That's our number right there. 14 volts plus. We're looking good, Lewis. The only thing left is to put this cover back on. Right there with this nut. Obviously, I'm not going to do it with the engine running, so let me shut it off and get it done. Couple turns by hand, get it tightened up. Put this tool right in here. No socket on it again. That ought to do it. Well, there you have it. That's how to change out an alternator on a 2006 Lincoln Town Car. But it goes to all the Ford family. I mean, from a 2003 Town Car up to like an 11. And that also goes for the Mercury Marquis. Same engine, same setup. These cars are really, really great to drive, and they'll last a long time if you take care of them. Again, the whole job, what the part was, $100. The time was kind of fun doing it, but it really didn't take that much time at all. Total job, half hour. And that's total job. So if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up if you would. We'll see you down the road.